Arizona, and somehow, some way, I always try to figure it out. But that was expensive to do that, and just like going out to when I go out to Baja to perform, like everything kind of just gets really pricey, But as an indie artist, I think that's just kind of sacrifices we have to make sometimes.
Yeah.
And we just do it, And most of those times, I'm not getting paid, but I go because I'm trying to reach and get a different audience, and then also
Illsamar is like a brand, and if you're trying to invest in any business or brand, you got to put money and time and sacrifice and take gigs that you're not going to get paid for, all for the ultimate goal. And I see that for a lot of people. Like you're not going to be able to just get discovered like it used to be. You have to like invest in yourself and be able to build that audience and get to certain places before you can, pop.
And I think that has a lot to do with the social media era. I feel like before, I mean, obviously still you could just like, if you know somebody, maybe you know somebody, and then there's still that thing that goes along. But now I feel like if you don't know people, if you don't have a certain amount of Spotify listeners or followers or this or that, it's like nobody's really looking at you. So like you said, you have to go do that footwork now. Like no one's gonna hand you anything, and not nobody's gonna just like give you just like a shot like they used to. But
I don't think it's no longer about who you know. It's about who knows you.
Oh, that's good.
Bars.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
I'm gonna credit Solstice with that, because Solstice gave me that one yesterday.
That's good stuff right
Shout
there.
out Jay Solstice. That young man drops gems.
Say that one more time though.
It's not about who you know, but about who knows you. I think he got that from Jay-Z. It's like a whole bunch of,
That's
but yeah. So it's a bar nonetheless.
Nonetheless,
and I think that's what it really is. It's about like who knows you, like, and then people see that like, oh, you got 30,000 followers. Oh, I can invest in you, because it's about who knows you. It's not about, you can know somebody, but they're not going to necessarily put you on anymore because they got to make money from you, or they got to benefit from you in some way.
That's definitely what Kevin Hart was saying. At the end of the day, it's a business. What are they going to get?
What am I going to get back in my return? That's what it's become down to, because it's just the field is so many people competing, and it's so full. Like, you got to prove your return. You got to prove your return.
Off the real.
Yeah.
So you said finances is one of the biggest things. So when it comes to traveling out, what would you say is the most important thing you got to budget when you're about to hit the road? Like the three main things you got to make sure you factor in.
I think the first one, it has nothing to do with music, but just make sure that
gas in the car.
Not even that.
Okay.
My first thing is to make sure that I'm basically not getting out of like my rent expenses or stuff like that. I take care of that first. Like if I know that I'm gonna have to like take from something that I really need, then I won't go at all. But the second thing would just be like for sure gas and food, and then the third thing would be to make sure I got some merch on me.
Yeah.
Because speak on how important that is real quick.
It's super important. I feel like a lot of indie artists don't
skip out.
Yeah, they skip out on the merch part. Like the thing about it, and I think you were talking about Illsamar the brand. Like, because of the social media era now, some people are not even buying the music anymore. They want to buy the brand. They buy into the brand.
Yeah.
And when you have shirts, like, people would rather buy a T-shirt than get a hard copy of your CD.
Yeah.
And that's why I made it a priority to get shirts and not CDs yet, obviously with budgeting, because it's going to be digital and people will download it, people will stream it. People don't even want to buy music anymore
and where can
anyway.
they play the CD at anyways
So,
now?
I still buy it. I need a signature too.
That part, the people who are, collectors.
But for the most part, if you have a T-shirt and somebody might not even really
fuck with the music.
Exactly, but they'll still buy a shirt just because they want to support and just because they know you came like 300 miles to come perform here, and they will buy it. And so I think that indie artists overlook that, and I don't think they should. And they also should just like look for the best prices they can to get things done, so they can make a little bit of extra money on the side, because that money can be your gas money to go back home.
Or have another trip.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But even if you're making your money back, you're still spreading your brand to different people, and everybody's getting their hand on something tangible that you own or you putting out, with your name on it. That makes sense.
You make your money back, you got a free trip and had all the fun. I love that.
Exactly.
I mean, people like Tyler, the Creator, took advantage of this. I think that's what helped him become so big. The Golf Wang clothing.
Rocking them right now. I'm rocking the kicks right now.
And they are fly as fuck.
There's people who rock it don't even know whose that is, like whose clothing that is. And the same with like Wiz and his what was it? Not the Rolling Papers, but the other one. Taylor Gang.
Taylor Gang.
Yeah.
Taylor Gang. His merch at the early stages. It was crucial because people were loving the Taylor Gang shit, and they would go just so they can rock it with everybody else. Mm-hmm. They'll go to the concert.
Nelly did Apple Bottom and ended up in whatchamacallit.
Yeah, but we couldn't wear those.
Yeah, fair.
we couldn't do that.
Yeah. They didn't. I don't got the thighs for those jeans. They're too slim. You know what I mean? They're just too slim.
The problem is I might have the thighs for them. You know what I'm saying?
Like, sit up.
I might look actually good in the apple bottoms, but I ain't gonna ever find out.
Get some boots with the fur. No, but anyway, getting back to touring and whatnot. What has there been any scary moments while being so far away from home? While being on tour, it's like, oh shit, I need to.
What was the furthest place you touched?
Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I don't think so. Well, this wasn't last year, but I think it was a year before. I was picking somebody up in my car that was also going with us, and then my car turned off. That was
just in the middle of driving?
Like when we stopped, I tried to turn it back on, and it started doing some weird noises, and I was just like, oh, Lord, what's going on? Like,
all of a sudden,
don't do this to me. Yeah, I was just like, all right, I'm just going to sit here, and I'm just going to pray and see what happens, because if not, I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. But it turned back on, and I still went. You know, like, we were still kind of in the area. I could have just canceled and said, like, no, we're just going to go back. But I'm like, no, I'm not going to let anything stop me from going. And so I just did. But other than that, nothing really crazy that.
Oh, man. I need to stop fucking up when I go out, because sometimes I get myself in some trouble. I'm like, I wish I could go home right about now. No.
Stop hitting up with those brothels. I'm sorry. I put business out there.
But you mentioned something. You have a day job and you travel. How do you find the balance in between the two, in performing and having a day job?
Like the energy, I think it's probably a big thing.
It gets tiring for sure.
Yeah.
I think having like days or weekends where I don't schedule anything at all, and then just kind of take a step back and just relax. Mm-hmm. I think that's kind of where I find the balance of just, okay, cool, if today is just me time, probably just watch some TV or catch up on some series and just do that, and just basically trying to, I guess what I do is once I get off work, I try to feel like, okay, I got to clock out, but not really, because I'm on call. Mm-hmm. And so that kind of gets a little difficult because I am on call. So if like my boss were to call me at 8, I got to answer the phone. Yeah. But for the most part, they do very well to not call me at that time. But then also realizing that as soon as I'm on work, I can't really think about music stuff. Yeah. And then trying to just kind of do that. Mm-hmm. And then making time for myself at the same time, just for my health and whatnot. And kind of giving myself days off. Like for a while, I wasn't doing anything music related on Mondays. Mondays was the time where I'm winding down from the weekend, and I do a lot of music stuff on the weekend. And then, Monday work day is usually pretty hectic. So on the afternoons, I don't do anything Illsamar. I don't touch anything at all. And then I just use that day to chill. Mm-hmm. And then there's also days that I choose not to perform on. So if people ask me, I'll just say no. And I've learned that has helped me to balance out my schedule and to just learn how to say no, obviously, because sometimes we just want to say yes to everything, and not everything is beneficial. Yeah. So learning how to do that, and just every single day scheduling for a certain thing has really helped me out to balance everything that I do.
Now, do people at your job know that outside of work you're this fucking rock star?
They know that I make music, but that's kind of how as far as it goes. Okay. And they're actually also really cool about me getting days off as well. So like if I need a couple days, and I'll tell them like, well, I'm gonna go to Arizona, and they're really cool about that. They hire No, they're not actually. But it's pretty cool. I dig that because they do give me some freedom. And so that's one of the biggest things that keeps me there, because I just don't think that another job would do
They be hating.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, jobs, places like Walmart and hardware places, they act like they want you to be there like your whole life.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Like, you really think that I want to be here? Like, there's other people who probably do. But
why would you go?
Be realistic here. Like, you didn't want to be here the rest of my life. Like, I'm trying to pursue other things.
You see how quick I leave when I clock out?
One of the coolest...
You know I'm never here early.
Ever. 5-minute grace period, nigga. That's what you said.